Show on the SportsMap Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Jake Asman.
I can't thank, this organization, Terry and Kim, Brandon Bean, the coaching staff, everybody that's helped me along the way. I mean, I can go down the line with thank yous. And, I wouldn't be in this position without my teammates, my coaches, Coach Dable, Ken Dorsey, Shea Tierney. You talk about all the guys in my quarterback room too that have been here throughout the years. So it's definitely a spot where it's surreal to be in the spot right now.
That was Josh Allen talking to the media for the first time after he has officially signed a 6-year contract extension with the Bills for $258 million. So needless to say, Josh Allen has been well compensated. Here's the thing. I have been dead wrong about Josh Allen, and Buffalo has been dead right about Allen, and they deserve so much credit because they're, just like how I was wrong, there were many people that were wrong about Allen. I mean, how often does a guy that plays at Wyoming, that was like a 50% passer in college, turn out to be this good? And I understand he had all the physical traits, but there have been so many guys that we talk about with the tools to be great, and they never have a year like the year Josh Allen just had. And really, he is such an outlier in a sense that year 1, 52% completion percentage. Year 2, 58. Year 3, it jumps to 69. You talk about, the old adage in the NFL, you can't teach accuracy. Well, apparently you can, because Josh Allen learned how to pass. It's like when Happy learned how to putt and Happy Gilmore. It's like, Happy Gilmore had the driver and he could hit the ball a mile, but he couldn't putt. Josh Allen could throw the ball a mile, but he wasn't accurate. Then when he learned how to be accurate, just like when Happy learned how to putt, all of a sudden Happy started winning tournaments, and now Josh Allen and the Bills won 13 games last year and went to the AFC title game. Josh Allen is Happy Gilmore. But you know what? The Bills have become a model franchise on how to draft and develop a quarterback. Every team in the NFL that has drafted a quarterback the last couple of years should know what the Bills have done around Josh Allen. Because they draft Josh Allen, and he's not great as a rookie, but they go out there and they get him help. They get him really good offensive linemen. Mitch Morse, Cody Ford, Deion Dawkins. They go out there and make a move last offseason in a trade to get Stephon Diggs and trade away a 1. And he was one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in the NFL this past year. All you need to know is that the Buffalo Bills went from a team that you thought had no chance of ever winning the AFC East to a team that clearly won it with ease last year. Josh Allen changed everything, but the way the Bills built around him was everything. I mean, you talk about what they did on the field. How about what they've done for him off the field? His head coach is really good. We all know Sean McDermott's a heck of a coach. But his offensive coordinator has been Brian Dable, who's been now his OC all 3 of his seasons in the NFL, now will be his OC again in his 4th year. He's had continuity from the beginning. Ken Dorsey, his quarterback coach, has been there with him. So it's not just the on-field stuff. They obviously got him really good players. That's key if you're a quarterback, to have guys to throw to and guys that can protect for you. But they got him guys that can help him from a coaching standpoint. And every NFL team should be watching what Buffalo has done, because Brandon Bean is arguably the best GM in the NFL right now. The way they have built around him is like the way to do it. It's like the opposite of what the Jets did for Sam Darnold for 3 years. They never gave Sam a real chance. They gave him Todd Bowles and Adam Gase. Josh Allen's had stability from day one. And I thought Sam Darnold would be much better than Josh Allen. I thought through the first 2 years, Sam showed a lot more than Allen did. I know Allen maybe statistically was close to Sam, but I just thought that Sam Darnold, talent-wise, was going to be able to put it all together because he was more accurate. But then Josh Allen goes out there and completes 69% of his passes and throws 37 touchdowns to just 10 picks. I don't know if we can expect any quarterback to have the type of leap that he had after what he was his first 2 years, but man, it just shows you it can be done if you get the right pieces in place. And credit Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a guy that a lot of people wrote off. A lot of people said he won't be any good. There's no way a guy from Wyoming that was completing 50% of his passes, could ever live up to the hype in the NFL. And he put it all together and had one of the better seasons you'll ever see a quarterback have. And honestly, if Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes didn't exist, he wins the MVP. He had an MVP season last year. He just didn't win the award. So I'm no Bills fan, but you give credit where credit's due. Allen has totally proven pretty much everyone wrong. As far as the contract, a lot of people are saying, well, why give it now? Why not wait? I don't think there's any issue in giving it to Allen. I'd be hesitant with a guy like Baker and Lamar because they've never had a year like what Allen just did. I know Lamar has an MVP. I get that. But there's still real questions on whether or not Lamar could beat you as a thrower. We've seen it in the playoffs the last couple of years. When his team trails and, you can't run the offense where he's, just a dual threat player and he's got to drop back and take you down the field 80-plus yards. We have yet to see him be able to do it. So I'd be hesitant paying those guys early. Allen had one of those years where he's just so good, you have to pay him. Because by paying him early in a couple of years, his contract looks like a bargain, the way the CBA is going to continue to rise now with the salary cap. And I mentioned continuity. Brian Dable, 4th year as his OC. Sean McDermott, 4th year as his head coach. Ken Dorsey, 4th year as his QB coach. You add Emmanuel Sanders in the offseason. You already have Stephon Diggs. You have John Brown. Good O-line. I mean, the expectation in Buffalo should be go to the Super Bowl. You go to the championship game last year, you can only go up. So I have no issue with the Allen deal, but it really is just such a banner moment for NFL teams on how to draft and develop a quarterback. How, you have to A, be patient with the guy you draft, but B, you got to help him. The Bills helped Allen, and Allen rewarded them for doing just that. Here's more from Josh Allen. This was Josh Allen when asked if there's added pressure now signing a contract for $258 million.
I mean, I don't think, to be honest, I feel any differently. I hold myself to a very, very high standard and probably higher than what anybody else can hold me to. So that sort of pressure doesn't bother me, to be honest. But again, I want to continue to prove why, the Bills drafted me and decided to extend me. And, that starts with really the week 1 against the Steelers at home. So that's really all our focus is toward.
Look, the reality is there is more pressure on him because we still have had just this 1 year of great play. Based on everything we know about the Bills, what they've done this offseason, even how Allen has looked early on here at training camp, there's no reason to think he's going to have a major regression. Maybe he doesn't throw 37 touchdowns and throws as many yards this year, but that could just because the Bills want to run the ball a little more, want to have more in their offense besides just being, a one-trick pony as an offense. But make no mistake about it, when you pay your quarterback that kind of money, you're going to be an offense that throws the football, as you should. That is a big-time deal for a guy that, quite frankly, deserves it. He had that type of year. Now, Baker Mayfield, of course, was the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft. He led the Browns to the playoffs last year for the first time in forever. Baker Mayfield was asked yesterday about Josh Allen's deal and how that impacts his contract talks with the Cleveland Browns.
What goes through your head, though, when you see those kind of numbers?
Like I said, I'm worried about winning. I think the rest will take care of itself. It's good for the quarterback position overall. I'd be lying if we said otherwise. But I'm worried about winning right now. I don't know the timeline on it. We haven't talked about it because I'm worried about winning this season.
I would not pay Baker Mayfield or Lamar Jackson. I'd wait. There's no reason you have to pay a quarterback early. See, the precedent kind of was changed when the Eagles paid Wentz and the Rams paid Goff. How are those contracts working out? They're both not even on the same team they were when they were drafted. Paying your quarterback early could backfire for different reasons. Look what's happened with Deshaun Watson and the Texans. You don't have to do it just yet. Baker has year 4 on his contract and then a 5th-year option. You don't have to pay him just yet. You can wait. I would wait. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. I'm not jumping to pay the guy just yet. I don't think you have to. I think waiting would be the right move for both guys. But who would I, feel more comfortable paying at this point? I would probably say Lamar. But I really don't feel good about that answer, to be honest. What concerns me about paying a guy like Baker Mayfield is I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's a great quarterback. So if you pay him great quarterback money, are you going to be able to keep the rest of your team? What makes the Browns a Super Bowl contender is their O-line is really good. Their receivers are really good. Their defense is really good. They have elite players in their secondary, on their defensive line. And obviously, Baker has really good weapons to throw the football to. What happens if you got to pay Baker big money, and then all of a sudden that affects your salary cap and your ability to put a really good team around him? I'd be worried. See, I think a guy like Mahomes, doesn't matter who he's throwing to, he's going to be great. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, they'll figure it out. They're going to be great. But once you get out of that like first-tier quarterbacks, you start talking about tier 2, tier 2.5, 3 guys, how much of what they do is a product of what's around them? And that's what would concern me, the guy like Baker and Lamar. I want to see another year of Baker in this offense in Cleveland. If he has another really good season, well, you're not going to move on from the guy. You're going to pay him. So I'd be hesitant paying a quarterback early. I don't have an issue with what Buffalo did because I think Allen had that type of year, but Allen and Lamar have not had the year. Or Baker and Lamar have not had the year that Allen had. So it's a conundrum because you pay the quarterback early, you do get him on a bargain within a couple of years the way the cap keeps going up. But I don't think you could pay Baker Mayfield $43 million a year and in 2 years have the same roster that Cleveland has right now. So it is a big conundrum. What would you do? Would you pay Baker and or Lamar? 800-224-2004 is the number. If you want to weigh in on that. All right. Plenty still to get into this morning here on the show. Let's talk about Team USA basketball winning the gold medal and the performance of Kevin Durant. I'll tell you what, Kevin Durant, the last couple months here, has done an unbelievable job reminding everyone why he's so damn good at basketball. Remember, when KD went to the Warriors, a lot of people hated that move, myself included. And we kind of nitpicked any accomplishment there. Oh, he's supposed to do that. He was playing with Steph and Clay and Draymond. They're supposed to win. Well, KD, what he did with the Nets without their stars, and then what he just did in the Olympics is a nice reminder why this guy's an all-time great. We discuss that next here on the Jake Asman Show on a Monday morning on Sports Map Radio.
The middle.
Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. That is it. Bro, that's the best.